There's no question a real estate shift is occurring. The question is, are we headed towards a crash or a correction? Stay tuned for my predictions right after this. Hi, I'm Kevin Grolig. I'm a real estate agent with Compass located in Potomac, Maryland. And thanks once again for checking out the latest video in my series, Real Kevin. So as of the date of the filming of this video in June 2022, I think it's fair to say I'm starting to see a real estate shift in the marketplace. Why is this shift occurring? The biggest factor is the sharp rise in interest rates over the last 6 months. On January 1st of 2022, not that long ago, the average interest rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage was 3.25%. Fast forward 5 months later, we are now looking at average interest rates at 5.47% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. This is the quickest rise in interest rates in decades. The first thing that a rise in interest rates do is it makes every home less affordable. Today's home buyer in June of 2022 has nearly 25% less buying power than they did back in January. Let's take a brief look at what this interest rate hike means to a home buyer. First, let's look at a $500,000 mortgage amortized over 30 years with a 3.25% fixed rate. The total cost of principal and interest on this loan would be $2,177 a month. Now, let's take a look at the same $500,000 mortgage amount based on a 5.5% 30-year fixed interest rate. This same mortgage loan amount balloons to $2,839 a month. The difference is $662 a month, or $7,944 a year for the entire life of the loan. Beyond reducing everyone's buying power, it's forcing some people out of the home buying market. I've witnessed over the last few months many would-be home buyers leaving the marketplace because they simply weren't able to compete. Now with the rising interest rates, they're getting squeezed out. Other factors contributing to the market correction is inflation in general. Everywhere you go, you're paying more money for everything, whether that be gas, utilities, food, clothing, you name it. The stock market drop in 2022 has been another huge factor. As of the time of this video, the Dow Jones Index is down nearly 15% from January of 2022. The NASDAQ is down nearly 29% from the same time as well. The bottom line is there's been $7 trillion wiped from the stock market since the beginning of this year. This means everyone who's invested has less money now than they did 5 months ago. Less money, higher prices means less confidence. Hey, sorry for this brief interruption. If you like this video and you have any questions about buying or selling real estate in Montgomery County or relocating to Montgomery County, feel free to text me direct at 240-793-7495. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled program. With all these factors, you would think that we're headed for a huge crash.
Iceberg, right ahead!
But that's actually not the way I see it. Currently, in Montgomery County, inventory is incredibly low. It's approximately 17% less today than it was at this time last year. It should also be mentioned, as of May of 2022, there's about a 3-week supply of inventory in Montgomery County. Basically what this means is if no other homes were listed, it would take about 3 weeks to sell out everything. As long as inventory is low, we will not see a crash. However, it's fair to say as demand is suppressed, eventually inventory starts building up over time. At some point, the ratio of supply and demand will balance out, but it's still going to take some time. What I'm seeing in the Montgomery County real estate market over the last 60 days is a definite slowdown. In January, February, and March of this year, it wasn't abnormal to see 50 to 60 scheduled showings on one house during a weekend. Many times I was seeing 8, 10, 20, 30 offers on one home. What I've been witnessing over the last 2 months is closer to 8 to maybe 15 showings during a weekend and maybe 1 to 3 offers. I'm still seeing many homes selling well beyond their list price. Most of these offers are coming from buyers who've been out there for quite some time, some of them 6 to 12 months. My belief is as they start buying homes, I think we're going to start to see fewer and fewer buyers, new buyers that is, replacing them. So the question is, Real Kevin, do you see a correction or a crash? Personally, I don't think we're going to see a crash. I think we're going to see a correction and potentially a little bit of a give back from some of the winnings that have occurred over the last 2.5 years. It's easy for people to think that this correction would be like the 2008 crash. However, I see a lot of differences. In the early 2000s, buyers were enticed into the market by what we now would consider to be predatory loans. Many of these loans required no down payment, no documentation, interest only, adjustable rates that were almost destined to fail 3 to 5 years later when those interest rates adjusted. Heck, all you needed back then to buy a home was the willingness to sign some documentation and a pulse. Over the last 15 years since the crash, every home buyer I've worked with has been fully documented with strong down payments and fully amortized 30-year fixed rate loans at historic rates. The bottom line is these home buyers who have skin in the game typically don't walk away from their home and their mortgage when times get tough. It will be very interesting to see where the real estate market goes over the next few months. My belief is we're going to see more of a balanced market as we enter the third and fourth quarter of 2022. So if you're a home buyer who simply got tired of getting beaten out on other homes, but haven't been completely squeezed out of the market with rising interest rates, today may be your time. If you're a home seller looking to sell while the getting is good, I think that right now is exactly the time for you. So those are my thoughts. I believe we're in for a definite correction, but not a crash. What do you think? If you like my video, give me a thumbs up, comment, or share this video. If you're thinking about relocating to Montgomery County and you want a free Montgomery County relocation package, click on the link below in the description box. And as always, if you have any questions about buying or selling real estate in Montgomery County, Maryland, or the surrounding DMV, feel free to reach out to me by text at 240-793-7495. Thanks once again for checking out the latest video in my series, Real Kevin. See you next week.